This awesome show, and I have our co-host, my co-host. See how possessive I am? My unstoppable Paul Loudon. Paul.
And we've got Lisa here who wrote The Funny Side of Autism, Lisa Masters. In this book, a lot of the stories are about your two sons. Is Brandon and Andrew? Did I
yes.
remember?
Collectively, Brandrew.
I'm terrible with names, so you're lucky I got it
there
right.
You go.
I had to check your name on the title of the book, and it's Lisa. I mean,
yes.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about your sons and, just what got you to write this book, sort of your experiences?
I have two boys, like you said. Brandon is 14. He'll be 15 in June. Mm-hmm. Andrew's 12. They're both on the spectrum. I'd say somewhere around mild to moderate, complete opposites of each other. So, my children prove the statement, when you've met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism. Mm-hmm. I am getting pulled in two different directions all the time. So Brandon is this 6 foot tall, just lovable teddy bear, wants to sit on the couch and just draw and eat and thinks the world is just one big family. Just wants to hug everyone, wants to, if he was here, he'd want to go over to your house for dinner and spend the night. He's just a sweet soul. He's very, very funny. He doesn't stop talking. He's constantly asking questions, so I'm constantly trying to feed him information. I could write a book on Brandon alone. He's probably the biggest inspiration for these books, because he's very funny when he says, as you could tell from the hospital story. Mm-hmm. Then there's Andrew. He is undeniably a genius. This kid, I can't keep up. He does things to my computer. He's just super intelligent. He's pretty well self-taught. For the most part, he kept to himself, but he's starting to come out of his shell now, and he's speaking more. He loves Legos. He loves electronics. He's funny in his own right. He's not as social as Brandon. I took him for a haircut, and the hairdresser comes over and she says, "Can I ask your name?" And he goes, "Yes." And then he walked away, and she's just like, I'm like, well, he answered your question. I don't know what to tell you. He wasn't really interested in engaging, like, say, Brandon would. But they both have very lovable qualities. They're both very affectionate. They're both very silly. They're both very funny. They're just really good boys.
Just different. For benefit?
No. No. I wouldn't be able to pull that one off.
Yeah. Well, that's true. People are going to be probably
mobbing you a lot of the time.
Yeah, I'll be mingling. I want to get to, thank everyone and see everyone, and, I can't take my eyes off them.
Right.
They can sit on their own, but they can't be left alone. So those two need to be supervised,
right.
And having said that, they might be with me forever, who knows, but as long as I live, that's fine with me. Mm-hmm. And, that's our life.
Wow.
Yeah.
So... Well, we have about... Paul, looks like you were going to say something. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to ask, in the book you mentioned that Andrew also had some physical problems growing up.
Yeah.
So I was just going to ask how he's doing, with that.
He's doing remarkably well. It was a very freak thing that happened to him, and unfortunately he had to have a tube in his heart, tube in his stomach to eat. There was just sort of a medical rarity that kind of got overlooked. Left him with a big portion of his small intestines removed. They told me he may never eat or, might be tube fed forever. Well, actually 3 years ago, April, he took his first bite of food and started eating, and he's been tube free for 2 years.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, that's great.
It's
awesome.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
that's awesome.
he's a growing boy, and now he'll eat 8 slices of pizza.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just, you can't get any opposite than when we started, so.
Oh, well, he's catching up.
He is catching up. He really is.
There's so many yummy things in this world.
Yes.
Does he have a particular type of food he gravitates towards now, or?
Well, his favorite place is In-N-Out Burger,
Oh.
and I make homemade pizza. He has a dairy allergy, but, there's a lot of options, and pizza, burger, French fry, typical kid food.
Wow.
He's right on board.
That is so cool.
Yeah. I
Awesome.
spend many of my hours cooking.
Yeah, well, especially I guess if you have those two teenage boys, but I suspect your food bill is very high.
Very high.
And you can probably never keep the pantry full for very long. So, well, we're almost to the end of the show. We still have a little bit of time, but I know I just want to make sure that, this benefit is coming up very soon, and we want to make sure that listeners get on it and get tickets and show up. And we just wanted to say that we are giving away 2 tickets to this event.
A pair of tickets.
One
pair.
Thank you for clarifying.
So,
what did I do for that?
well, just what we're going to do for those of you who've listened this far or listened to us online, we're going to let you post to our Facebook page that you're interested in being in a drawing, and we'll take all those names and pick one to receive these 2 tickets so they can bring someone with them to the benefit.
Yeah, so definitely.
Oh, and we'll do the drawing Friday evening.
Yes, and Paul, you want to give out our Facebook?
Oh, no, I don't want to. They can't find me.
See, there I go.
www.facebook.com/understandingautismradio. You can just search Facebook for Understanding Autism. You'll find us. You can also find our podcast by searching iTunes for Understanding Autism, or there's a link to it from our Facebook page. And I guess, Lisa, did you want to tell people who's putting on this benefit and any other information about it?
Information that's
Sure.
relevant?
Yeah, my book is published with Inkwell Productions, so myself and Inkwell Productions are presenting this benefit. We're the ones putting it on. And we've had a lot of support, through volunteers, people donating items. Jay here's going to speak, and just have a lot of support. And I want everyone to come out, have a great time. They can go to the Compound Grill to get tickets. I'm sure you'll give that information out. And it's just going to be, you don't want to miss it because people are going to be talking about it after, and you're just going to be all upset you didn't go. Might as well get your ticket.
Yes, and we're going to post all of that on our Facebook, too, to make sure that we get that information out. And I know that the Compound Grill, on their site, you can order tickets that way, and you can also call the Compound Grill. And actually, I don't think we have the number on hand, but we will post it on our Facebook page for sure. And I have to say, regarding Inkwell Productions, Victoria is amazingly organized.
Yes.
I really admire her. I was just blown away by her effectiveness and organization, and it was amazing. So I'm sure partnering with her on this benefit is, I think...
We're a good team. We work well together, and...
So she'll be there.
Oh, she'll be there.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. So what else can we expect? I mean, you've pretty much given us the timeline. You've given us the attire information. We know there's going to be, music, entertainment, things like that, the food. I'm actually curious, though. I do have a question, because I may have some families bringing their children with autism. Are there going to be gluten and dairy-free options for families?
No, the Compound Grill isn't equipped to handle that.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure about that. Okay, so that's good to know.
Yes.
Okay.
Will they at least have some degree of allergen information to help in picking out things that at least might be gluten-free?
Sure, I'm sure they have,
Okay.
their kitchen manager, and I can maybe get that set up ahead of time and see their options.
Because you can't always manage to be completely gluten-free, but you can pick things that shouldn't have gluten unless there's cross-contamination, which is a risk anyway. So
I think there's different levels of sort of allergies. I know some people really can't have any of that, and then some people are a little bit more.
And nowadays restaurants are so good about it. My younger son has several food allergies, and sometimes I do end up having to bring food in, and they're so accommodating. They just whatever you got to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
that's a good
I
point.
spent a few months on a gluten-free diet doing allergy testing, so I don't have any specific allergies that we're certain about, but I went through that process of having to shop gluten-free, having to go to restaurants and pick through the menus, and learning how many things that you don't expect can have gluten in them.
Right.
Never would have thought soy sauce. And
Exactly.
So there's all those things out there that are just going to sneak up on you.
And it's super expensive right now, unfortunately, that people have to be if you're going to buy stuff in the store, it's so outrageous.
Yeah, and actually I do have the number here for the Compound Grill.
Okay.
So people, you can buy tickets over the phone, or you can visit their website. The phone number for the Compound Grill is 480-585-5483. Just wanted to double check on that. So I know I didn't mean to be fancy. It was sort of I didn't wear my glasses. So anyway, so yes, please come out, tell your friends. We're going to be posting a lot of information about it between now and the event, and definitely and encourage all of you to support this awesome cause and have fun.
Yeah.
And be ready to participate in this silent auction.
Yes.
I'm telling you, my boyfriend Rick's going to be
I think there's going to be
a force to
a
reckon
fight.
with
I
on
might have
that.